Hey everyone, it's Dale here, and in this video I'll show you the strongest volume profile levels to trade this week. We'll take a look at a couple of intraday levels at the British pound, at the Australian dollar, and on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. So let's get to it. What you see before you here, this is a NinjaTrader 8 platform with my custom-made volume profile and VWAP indicators, and this is a 30-minute chart of the British pound US dollar. Here I want to talk about support which formed on Friday, and here's the support. It is at 1.3423 and it is based on this sharp rejection that occurred on Friday. Sharp rejection, if you look just at the price action chart, means that the price was dropping rather aggressively and then buyers stepped in and completely reversed the price and the price went upwards. When you see sharp rejection like this, you want to look into the rejection with volume profile and identify a significant volume cluster somewhere around the place where the price turned from the sell-off into this, right? And in this case we have this significant volume cluster, and it represents a place where buyers started to jump in, and this is an important place, right? Because a lot of buyers were active here. And what I want to do now is wait for the pullback, and when the pullback and when the price hits this level, I expect those buyers to jump in and push the price upwards from there again. Right? So that's the whole setup. As an addition to that, I also like that we have a rather huge fair value gap from smart money concepts in here, right? Fair value gap beginning right here at our level, and that adds strength to that level. Okay, beginning of a fair value gap, also the beginning of that heavy volume zone. So for those reasons, I think that if the price drops to this level, there is a solid chance that it will reverse there again, as the buyers from here will want to defend that place which was important for them in the past. Right, so that's the long level on the British pound. Let's now take a look at the Australian dollar, US dollar. So here is a 30-minute chart of the Australian dollar, US dollar, and I will talk about support, which is in here. It also formed on Friday, and this one is at 0.6983. By the way, we are still looking at the 30-minute time frame. And back to the level, we have this strong uptrend here on Thursday, and this volume cluster here inside that uptrend that tells us that buyers who are pushing the price upwards, they were adding to the long positions here in this place, right? As they were pushing through this rather strong high. So this was probably a strong resistance in the past, and the buyers were pushing through it. That's why we have those volumes here. Now that resistance failed and it turned into support, and we still have those volumes that were traded there. So when the price drops to this level, it's likely that the buyers from here, from this volume cluster, will become active and push the price upwards from there again. And what adds strength to the level is that it was resistance in the past and now it turned into support. This price action confirmation. Another price action confirmation is this huge fair value gap. Again, as in the previous example, this one begins in here. It is a bullish fair value gap, so that's why it begins in here, and it nicely aligns with the volume cluster we have here, right? So all the setups nicely aligned together and point to this level. So that's why I think that there will be a reaction. That's why I want to trade this. Okay, so that's the trend setup, a setup which I trade when there's a trend. Now let's take a look at the US dollar, Canadian dollar. On the US dollar, Canadian dollar, I want to talk about resistance, which is in here, and it is at 1.4091 to 1. This one is based on a thing that if you take a look at this area with volume profile, then you can see that there were heavy volumes traded in this little rotation, and afterwards a strong sell-off started from that rotation. That means sellers were accumulating their short positions and then they pushed the price downward. They manipulated the market. So we have this heavy volume zone where we know that sellers were active, and if the price makes pullback to this level, I believe that those sellers will become active again and they'll want to push the price downwards, right? So that's the main logic behind this short level. This setup is called volume accumulation setup because sellers were accumulating their shorts here before pushing the price downwards. So the level is at the beginning of that heavy volume zone, but not only that, it's also at the beginning of this bearish fair value gap. See, this is the fair value gap, and because this is bearish fair value gap, it begins in here. This is the beginning of the fair value gap, and that's a place where I like to trade from. So again, we have this little confluence of the volume profile level and the beginning of the fair value gap. So now I'm just waiting for the pullback. When the price hits this level, it's going to be short from there, right? If you guys are interested in learning more about volume profile trading, and if you want to learn my whole strategy from A to Z and get your hands on my custom-made volume profile and other indicators, you should visit my website. It is at traderdale.com, and if you click this button which says trading course and tools, then it will bring you to a page where you can browse all that stuff, right? So that's for that. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Until then, happy trading. Now, before I wrap the video up, I'd like to announce a winner of the contest we had last time. The prize of the contest were my custom-made volume profile and VWAP indicators for TradingView platform, and right now on your screen you see the name of the person who won in the contest. So congratulations to the winner, and what I'll do next is I'll do another contest for the next week. The only thing that you need to do to participate in this contest is leave a comment below this video, which I'll publish on YouTube, and next week I'll randomly pick one person to win this set of custom-made indicators. So that's about that. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time, and until then, happy trading!